You might not know it, but thousands of new species of animals are discovered every year, and it's hard to keep up with them all. There's around 86% of existing species of animals on the Earth that have yet to be identified. But there are some creatures that live in the deep and dark cold oceans and seas that were recently discovered. From brightly colored snailfish, a shark that looks like an alien and glows blue, to a creature that looks like a Game of Thrones crown. Check out these amazing and mysterious deep-sea creatures. Anglerfish. Back in 2018, a pair of German researchers by the name of Kirsten and Joachim Jacobsen filmed an extraordinary scene with the deep-sea submersible, the Lula 1000, off the coast of São Jorge Island in the Azores, about 850 miles west of Portugal. Until now, scientists and researchers have never seen this species of anglerfish, Calophryn jordani, alive. The video of the rare and ghostly anglerfish was taken at 2,600 feet underwater. The anglerfish is famously known for its bioluminescence fishing apparatus, the lure sticking out of its head that it uses to attract prey and bring them closer to its pointy teeth. There are very few creatures swimming around in this dark zone of the ocean, but the anglerfish has an expandable stomach and jaws that let it devour large prey. But the other strange thing about this film is that the female anglerfish wasn't alone but had her tiny parasitic husband attached to her belly, who is 60 times smaller and 500,000 times lighter than the females. When a male spots a female, he bites onto her body, which allows their tissues and circulatory system to fuse, and then the two become a pair. He literally becomes a parasite, and they stay this way for the rest of their lives. If you're wondering why no one has ever seen one alive, that is because these fish can only survive under the extreme pressure of the deep. Ghostly snailfish. The planet is full of life everywhere, including the very deepest parts of the Atacama Trench, which is located around 7 miles below the ocean's surface off the coast of Peru and Chile. Recently, a group of 40 scientists from 17 different countries teamed up to search these freezing, pitch-black areas using the best cameras and other equipment available. With these cameras, they were able to find 3 new interesting creatures which they believed are a type of snailfish living 5 miles deep below the surface. There were 3 different color types: pink, blue, and purple Atacama snailfish. The creatures took advantage of the free meal, and the camera caught their incredible and eerie and almost translucent bodies, with some of them being very colorful. Georgia monster. This one is something that was so strange that we thought to include it in our list. As you probably know, sometimes strange creatures wash ashore, and there seems to be no shortage of monster stories when someone discovers something weird and unidentifiable laying on the beach. In 2018, a weird and creepy-looking creature was filmed on the beach in Georgia and was found by a guy named Jeff Warren, who sent several photos of the decomposing remains to several media outlets in the local area, where it grabbed everyone's attention. The creature appears to be some slimy worm-like thing, but is certainly not easy to identify. Marine scientists have looked at the video and photos, and many interpretations range from the creature being some type of decomposing fish to maybe it being an outright hoax. The interesting thing is that no one took samples of the creature and it washed away, never to be seen again. Since it remains a mystery, we'd like to know what you think it is. Let us know in the comments. Chinese underwater drone discovery. 2018 brought a lot of new surprises as we've been able to explore many deep-sea locations. China has recently done some deep-sea exploration, and in a 2-year survey of the North Pacific seamounts, which are ridges caused by underwater mountains, underwater drones have filmed some amazing creatures, such as red deep-sea shrimps who gather around the camera to get their share of the bait, and a scavenging deep red and blue-colored cutthroat eel. At one point, a ghostly and eerie-looking ratfish swims slowly past the camera, showing off its huge glowing eyes. They are useless as the fish hunts by scent alone because there is no sunlight at its depth. During this survey, as many as 30 new deep-sea creatures were discovered. Pseudoliparis suirae, the deepest fish. It's surprising that every year scientists discover about 15,000 new species of animals that were previously unknown to humanity. Many of these creatures have bizarre survival tactics, and deep down in the Pacific Ocean's Mariana Trench, 27,000 feet down, lives the deepest fish ever discovered.
Rise, Atlanta!
The scary-looking fish is called the Mariana snailfish, which looks like a tadpole. They grow from 2 to 4 inches long and are small and translucent. It's impossible for human divers to swim where the Mariana snailfish lives, so researchers sent down a trap that took 4 hours to fall to the floor of the trench. Scientists were able to capture and bring back this fish for study. Researchers say that 27,000 feet is a physiological limit for fish, and no fish could survive below this depth. Australian deep-sea discovery. In 2017, a bunch of new strange creatures were discovered off the Australian coast, and some of them looked downright alien. From a faceless fish, giant sea spiders, and blobby sea pigs, there were many creatures that were brought up from the deep by the research ship Investigator, which belongs to Australia's Marine National Facility. During its 1-month voyage, the ship tracked up the eastern edge of the Australian continental plate, where the ocean suddenly drops 2.5 miles deep. They dropped fishing nets and trawling sleds to collect these creatures from the bottom of the abyss. More than 1/3 of the creatures found were completely new to science, and more are being found every day. Giant squid. You might think that the giant squid is a creature that is spotted often. However, you're more likely to see one in a story than in real life. That's why fishermen in the port city of Toyama on Japan's northern west coast were shocked when they discovered a 13-foot-long giant squid in the shallow port waters. Some footage was captured by an Akinobu Kimura who runs a surf shop. The footage of this rare creature is truly amazing, as no one had ever been so close to a giant squid before. Finally, Akinobu helps guide the squid back to deeper waters where it swims away, but not without letting him know who is boss. Akinobu said that the suckers on the squid's arm were so strong that it caused him pain, and even though he was trying to help it escape, it wrapped itself around his body and clung to his arm. Quite a frightening experience, but since he was mostly unharmed, it would seem the giant squid knew Akinobu was trying to help. Giant sea sponge. If you were ever curious how big a sea sponge can get, then this will fill your curiosity. The world record giant sponge measures 11.5 feet in length and 6.6 feet in width, about the same size as a minivan, and was discovered at a depth of 7,000 feet by the crew of the Noas Okeanos Explorer in Hawaii's Papahānaumokuākea Marine Park, which is the largest contiguous fully protected conservation area under U.S. jurisdiction. You might be thinking, big deal, it's just a giant sponge. The amazing thing is that for a sponge to be this large, it means that it is also very old, and estimates put it at the age of 2,300 years old. Fortunately for swimmers, this is not a carnivorous sponge species, but it is still creepy to look at it lying in the dark of the deep. Sea sponges come in many different shapes and sizes and are filter feeders, meaning that they live from floating particles that get trapped in their bodies. Game of Thrones brittle star. No, we didn't give this creature this name. It really is called this, Ophiohamus George Martini, because of its likeness to the thorny crown on the cover of Book 2 in the Game of Thrones series. And this tiny, spiky creature looks unreal. It's called a brittle star, and they are somewhat like starfish, but they move more rapidly, wriggling their long, flexible arms to move along the seabed. They are also called snake stars because their bodies are protected by a hard calcium carbonate armor. They seem like they are rare, but they can be found everywhere, and you can find brittle stars in shallow waters as well. The brittle star eats by sticking its spiny arms into the current, which filter out organic particles that flow past. Viper dogfish. These creatures are truly terrifying and look like something out of an Aliens film. They are called viper dogfish, and they are a type of small shark. They were first identified in 1986 and can be found in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of Japan, Taiwan, and Hawaii. Very little is known about this creature since it is rarely seen, but their appearance is truly creepy in design. Their skin is black and they have what are called photophores, a light-producing organ on their underside and a smaller number around their bodies, which allow them to grow an eerie blue. They have V-shaped scales, which allows them to swim away quickly and quietly. When they do find their prey, they attack by extending their jaws with their needle-like teeth and swallow their prey whole. The design of their teeth stops prey from escaping. They can easily consume prey half their size, and their bioluminescence helps to see and spot their prey. We hope you enjoyed the video. Which of these creatures did you think was the coolest? Tell us in the comments. And if you liked the video, then make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll be the first to know when a new video comes out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.